Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Russell Matthews here, and I'm back with another Canadian benefit update for you. A $200 additional benefit that was recently set up by the Ontario government, called the Support for Learners benefit, has recently been expanded as of the new shutdowns in Ontario. This opens up the eligibility for this benefit to a whole bunch of people who wouldn't have been qualified under the previous guidelines. And at the same time, benefits are being doled out to Canadians who applied for the BC Recovery benefit. And it seems like over 550,000 people applied for this $1,000 benefit that is entirely tax-free for the residents of BC. However, the rollout of this benefit wasn't exactly smooth when applications first opened up. So in today's video, we're going to talk about who's now eligible for the expanded Support for Learners program, how they can apply, and we're also going to take a look at this BC Recovery benefit and let you know how you can apply if you haven't done so already. And if you're not from BC and you're not from Ontario, it's still important to stay up to date on this sort of thing so you can know what you could expect from your government, or at least what they're not doing that the other provinces are. So the original Support for Learners benefit that was announced a little while ago was intended for parents of children up to a maximum of the age of 12. They would be able to apply and receive $200 to help cover some of these virtual learning and changes to the education system that parents are having to navigate right now. However, while this benefit was welcomed by parents of these children under 12, a lot of people pointed out that it's actually more expensive in some cases to be supporting a child who's over the age of 12 and maybe in that high school age. And that's exactly why, as of the announcement of Ontario's entire province-wide lockdown, that the Ford government is coming in and saying, hey, you know what, you're right, we're going to give money to these people that are actually above the age of 12. Let's take a look at his official announcement.
And for the parents out there, more help is on the way for you as well. Yesterday, out of an abundance of caution, we announced that elementary students will learn remotely until January 11th, and that many high school students will learn remotely until January 25th. To support parents during this time, I have directed our Education Minister, Stephen Lecce, to expand the Support for Learners program. Parents of secondary school students will now be eligible for one-time payments of $200 per child. This is money they can use to purchase laptops, workbooks, or any other learning supplies they might need at home.
Okay, so we know that this previously announced Support for Learners program is being expanded to people who are in secondary school, not just up to the age of 12. We've got people covering grade 9 to grade 12. So let's take a look at the Support for Learners website to find out if you're eligible and if you can apply now. So here is the updated web page when it comes to the Support for Learners Fund. It seems like they haven't created a new page for this expanded program, but they have updated this little blurb here where it says, we are expanding the Support for Learners program to students aged 13 to grade 12, including students who are in secondary school that are over 18. Applications will open on January 11th, 2021, and we will provide details on eligibility and how to apply soon. So it seems like all of the information isn't 100% out yet, but it's likely that since this is an expansion of the Support for Learners program, it's sort of going to be rolled into the previous eligibility requirements that were released for the original Support for Learners benefit. So if you want to know more about that, I've made a video about all of those requirements, and you can kind of sort of interpret it as a larger age range now. So check out that link down there in the description if you want to know how to apply for this benefit when it comes out, or if you haven't applied for the original Support for Learners Fund and you're in that sort of your children are under the age of 12, then you can check out that video and find out how you can apply now because applications are open. And it's important to remember that this is a one-time payment and that the deadline is likely February 8th for both of them. Now, we're not 100% sure if this February 8th guideline, or this deadline rather, will be applied to this expanded program, but it's likely that, again, all of these are going to mesh together and they'll all be required to have been applied for by February 8th. Now, it seems like they've been a little bit more broad than they have been in the past with who will be eligible for this, as they've allowed people who are even above the age of a typical high school student, their parents will still be able to apply for this if their student is in secondary school. Now, as for the BC Recovery Benefit, which you'll remember is a $1,000 non-taxable benefit that pretty much anybody who lives in BC would be able to apply for, applications opened for that around a week ago, and the application process hasn't been the most smooth, but it seems like over around 800,000 BC residents have been able to actually claim this benefit. Now, let's take a look at a tweet that was put out that sort of takes a closer look at these numbers. So this is a tweet from Selena Robinson, who's the Minister of Finance in BC, and she says that more than 500,000 applications have been approved for the BC Recovery Benefit, close to 800,000 British Columbians as of last night. And there were 291,000 single applicants, and if you're single with a child, there were 34,000, and if you're applying as a couple or a family, 228,000, and a total applications of 554,000. Now, the application for this benefit didn't go as smoothly as they might have wished it did, and we saw a similar thing with when the CRA dispersed the CRB, or when they opened up applications there. Of course, there's going to be an overload to the system, and many people weren't able to get through when it first opened up. And even once this huge flood of applicants died down, a bunch of people had trouble applying because they were being requested to provide documents that they maybe didn't have, or maybe didn't even have access to yet, because for this benefit you needed to prove how much income you were making, and perhaps you didn't have your 2019 taxes, along with other proof that you are actually a BC resident. If you didn't actually have these documents on hand, your application process could have been drastically delayed. Now, if you were lucky enough to make it through the application process without any of these delays, you should be starting to see that $1,000 non-taxable hitting your account. And for some people, they even got this before Christmas, which was the initial target of John Horgan, the leader of the NDP and the premier of BC, and he sort of used that Christmas date as his target to get this money out, and it seems like, at least for some people, that was a success. If you think you might be eligible for this benefit and you haven't yet applied, then make sure to check out that video down there that I'm going to link in the description, where I go through the entire application process along with your eligibility requirements so that you can do this as easily as possible. And with that said, I'm curious about what you have to say about all of this. How do you think the rollout of these new benefits went? Did it go smoothly for you? Are you glad that they expanded that $200 support for learners benefit? And if you aren't from Ontario or BC, how do you feel that these benefits stack up to what's being done in your province? Do you think that your government could be doing a little bit more to help people out, especially as we're going into this second wave? Let me know down in the comments. I read every single one and I try to reply to as many as I can, so if you want your voice to be heard, make sure to drop a comment down there. And of course, if you haven't already done so, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. I'm bringing updates just like this one all the time about Canadians and their money, so if you want to stay updated on that, make sure to hit those buttons down there. And thank you so much for watching, everybody. I really hope this video helped you out at least a little bit, and I'll see you next time.